Hello, you beautiful angels, handsome devils, and everyone on that gorgeous spectrum. Today, I'm going to be talking about a D&D campaign I played. More importantly, my first ever campaign. I mean, technically it was my first ever one. It was my second one, where we don't talk about the first one because it was only like 2 sessions and I only remember one event. So, let's learn some of the faces that we're going to see through this little mini-series I'm starting. Let's start with our beautiful first group, as we did add 2 more people as we continue to play. Our first group was 4 people, including myself. We have the DM, who will be referred to as DM. We have Feldrin, the Elven Wizard. Oh, Elf Wizard. How original. Ander, why are you here?
What are you talking about? I'm literally the same thing as Feldrin. I'm a male elven wizard. Same as him. You made me. Why are you calling it basic if you did the exact same thing?
Well, why are you out here? Why aren't you in the closet? Get back in the closet, goddammit.
I don't like it in the closet. It's scary and there's only the one light. Why would you lock us in a closet, first of all? Second of all, why is there only one light? How am I supposed to read a goddamn book if there's only one single light hanging from the ceiling, Emmy?
Look, my mind doesn't have the best production value, okay? I'll get another light, okay? Look, I only get the one closet. My brain has to think of other things besides all of y'all, okay? Maybe I'll imagine a big old house for you to live in and you get your own room. Does that sound nice? I bet that sounds nice, Ander. Now get in the closet. Let's go. Come on. Sorry for that interruption. Let's get back to where I was. Where was I? The party. Yes. So after Feldrin, we have Thea, a half-elf bard, and Peter, who was my character, a human ranger who also might have been 13, but we'll talk about that later. Okay. So the story begins like any other D&D story. The party shows up in town. My character was just doing what 13-year-olds do best. Looking for bugs. After doing whatever, he goes and checks into the local tavern, like any good 13-year-old would. After that, Veldrin, the elven wizard, showed up into town. Okay? He went to the bookstore, and instead of asking, when he finds a book, instead of asking for the price and whatever, he steals it. Showed up in town. 10 minutes into showing up in town, he steals a book. The logical thing. He did have a reason. I will point this out. He did have a reason of stealing that book. I still talk with the Feldrin player, and he sent me his reasons for stealing that book. I'll pull that up right now. So part of it got cut off, but it's just like Feldrin wandered into the human village. And the full thing says, he had been on the road wandering ever since the sacking of his home village somewhere to the north. He found a local bookshop in this village. He found a tome which contained the history of the strange body of water known as the Burning Sea. The same sea from which merfolks were seen emerging right before they sacked his village. He had hoped to uncover some mystery about them, something to help him understand what he had fought. He found himself unable or unwilling to pay for the book, so he stole it. You know, it seems logical. He just wanted answers after his village was attacked and everything. But like, sure. That's what happened. And then our bard came into town. I don't really remember what happened to her. She came into town and she did something. I know there was a thing about her almost getting kidnapped. If I'm remembering what happened correctly, she almost got kidnapped or something. But we don't want to focus on that. We're going to focus on the more important thing, okay? Nothing happened that night. But oh my god. The next morning started a war between me and Feldrin's player that ended the moment that ended after almost 2 years of fighting. It has finally ended. After 2 years of fighting, we have finally agreed that one of us was in the right, okay? And get ready for this, man. This tea is about to get spicy. So the next morning, the party all went down for breakfast by themselves because they didn't like each other yet, of course. And if I can remember this correctly, they're all sitting and a city guard shows up and starts talking to the owner. And like Feldrin runs out of the mess hall about as gracefully as a deer learning to walk, if you know what that looks like. So he fell and dropped the book, which was the reason the guard was there looking for the stolen book. And he grabbed it and he ran upstairs to his room, and then he jumped out the window doing some backflips and stuff. I don't know. So the bard turns to me and it's like, you wanna go see what that was about or whatever? So we do. We leave the mess hall and we go outside, and we're standing under the tree, or standing next to the tree that Feldrin has jumped into, and we're looking around, and I want to say the bard rolled like a nat 1, but I don't think it was nat 1. I think it was like a 4 or so. So she's looking around being like, there's nothing here. And Peter rolled like an 18. So he looked up, like, he's right there. Idiots. So after we see him in the tree, he jumps down from the tree and he tries to walk away. And Thea, the bard, finally does something useful. And like serenades him with a song to keep him close. And are you ready? The quintessential moment that started a 2-year war that has only ended recently when I started making this video. My character, Peter, ran up and stole the book from Feldrin. Okay, I gave y'all a minute to comprehend what I just said. So, let's talk about why this was so catastrophic. Okay? So, Feldrin's player has said on multiple occasions that Peter would have no reason to steal the book because he didn't know it was stolen. Okay? Which, makes sense. But I rebuff Peter. Would have found it sus that Feldrin left the food from the moment the guard showed up, and Feldrin's like, nah, I'm out, I'm good, you have a nice day, okay? And he's gone, and it's like, what? And then they found him in a tree, which would mean he jumped out of his window. Plus, Peter has the criminal background, so he can be like, you're acting sus, my guy. Why you being so sus? Like, that makes perfect sense. Like, and don't ask why Peter has a criminal background. We don't talk about it. But Feldrin's player didn't see it that way, okay? And it was only recently when I asked his side of the story so I could add it to the video that he finally admitted that, yeah, it kind of did make sense that Feldrin was acting a little sus. So he's finally admitted defeat. This is the boys. We got the win. We got the big W. Feldrin has the L. Lol. But also, tell me who you think was really in the wrong here. Tell me who you think was in the wrong here. I'd love to hear your opinion. But anyways, back to the game table. Peter ran as fast as he could back to the tavern, okay? And I remember at one point Feldrin's familiar tried to like trip him and stuff, but it didn't work because Peter's like, bye boy, wee! But he makes it back to the tavern, runs up to his room, and thinks about what he's gonna do. He's just stolen a book from a wizard who is probably gonna kill him now. So he's just standing there and being like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm dead. I'm a dead man. I'm a dead boy. I'm 13. I'm still a virgin. So, Feldrin, following close behind him, like, runs up the stairs and to Peter's room. And I'll quote Feldrin's player's explanation. He said, letting his anger get the better of him, he cast Burning Hands on the door. Burning Hands on the door. Feldrin cast Burning Hands on a wooden door. Needless to say, he was a lot of fire. Peter, thinking about this, jumped out of a window and hid in the bushes underneath, okay? And so, of course, the tavern starts burning down. Because that's what happens when you cast Burning Hands in a tavern. So, yeah. The fire is put out by some NPCs with magic and stuff. And they use some kind of form of advanced detect magic. And they're like, this magic aura. It looks just like your magic aura, Feldrin, whatever the hell your last name is. And Feldrin's like, no, that's not how it works. And the DM's like, yeah, it is. It's my world. That's how it works. They know you did it, dude. And so, yeah, Feldrin was arrested. Yeah, he was arrested. After he was arrested, he was then tried in a very racist court against elves because they were like, okay, they had the prosecution say something. It's like, okay, convinced me. And me and Feldrin's player were like, that's not how court works. The defense still has to talk. And the DM's like, ugh, fine, go ahead. And then they call witnesses and they call... First they call Feldrin, and Feldrin's like, look, man, I don't know what happened. I just want my book back, Like, I just want my book. And the DM's like, you're not getting the book back. And then they had Thea, the half-elf, testify. And they're like, well, she's an elf. She can't be trusted. Like, what? She's an elf. And they're like throwing doubt on everything she says. And then Peter gets called up to testify, and they're like, okay, Peter, what did you see? What did you do? Peter's like, well, this wait, I remember. No, wait, no. Oh my, what? My brain is killing me. I'm sorry. I need a minute. I'm sorry. I'm back. And I'm going to stay here to the end of the video. I just remembered that while in court, Peter started to hit on Feldrin because the judge asked, like, the lawyer asked him a question, and he's like, I don't know, he's my kind of idiot or something like that. I just remembered I did that, and I don't know why. Like... Okay, so that happened. Feldrin was found guilty, and he was thrown in jail for, I don't know how long his sentence was. I don't know. He was thrown in jail for a long time. Very bad experience. And he found religion. That I do want to point out. He did find religion in that cell, so maybe it did do him some good. But, so me and Thea were approached by this guy, okay? And I'm pretty sure he had an actual name. I'm pretty sure he had some kind of name. I don't remember what it would have been, but we called him Bob. He might have had an actual name, but he was just Bob. He was Bob the Dwarf to us. That was just his name. He was just Bob the Dwarf. And he convinced us to help break Feldrin out of jail. So we did. But that's a story for another time, because the prison break deserves a video all of itself, because so many things happened in that video, and they were all so funny. So if you want to hear about that and all the other stuff that happened in this campaign, because I tell you, there are a lot of funny stuff, you should probably subscribe to the channel to hear about the time Peter Akimoto used a card trick to get out of a problem, had to talk down a dragon from killing his whole party, and yeah, there's a lot of more stuff that I'll probably think of. But yeah, make sure to hit subscribe, like the video, and I don't know. Thanks for listening to my story. Enemy Wolf, signing out for today. Love ya. Peace. He's gonna watch this video. He watches like all my videos. He's gonna watch this and he's gonna make me upset. Oh. So, the story begins like any other D&D town. I mean, story. God damn it! Hey yo, ended the video, Emmy, cause, yeah. I don't know. Love ya. I love all of you guys for watching this far. Bye.